Hey there, welcome back to Fluidez's page. I hope you're enjoying our resources. So today I wanted to talk about the importance of organization. Seems rather obvious, right? But it's really a key component of being successful in your language learning. And here's why. You are right now embarking on language learning, whether you're in a class or whether you're doing this journey by yourself, which is fine too. I wish you a lot of luck. It's going to be a fun journey. Hang in there. If you get frustrated, it will get better and you will end up really excited at the end of this journey when you are fluent and able to interact in your new life with your new language. It's very, very exciting. I'm excited for you. Now, with that said, time to get organized, time to think about how you're going to be organizing. If you're studying on your own, you need to organize your time. Key component. You really need to look up and get familiar with all the aspects of language learning. There's a lot of resources to see what teachers are teaching you. Comprehension, vocabulary, oral fluency. All of these are terms, and there are a bunch more that I could go into on further videos, but these are components that you're going to need to make sure that you're incorporating into your study and into your practice. That's the first thing. So organizing that time to make sure that you address all these things. For example, if you're only studying verbs, that's not going to help you speak very much. So your time needs to be organized in a way that you can study all of the components so you're really getting a full picture of the language and able to really acquire a true level of fluency. Now, the other thing you want to start organizing is your notes. Now, this seems rather obvious, but you'd be surprised. I have students sometimes come in, and when they come in, they have their things in several different notebooks, and then they can't look back as readily, and so when they have a question, they have nowhere to look it up. Make sure that your time is being organized, but also your resources are being organized, so you don't end up wasting more of your time going to search or having to re-research ideas. If you have well-organized notes, you can refer back. Come up with your own system, do what works for you, but keep it consistent so that you know where to find and access your materials. In essence, when you're taking notes, you're creating your own textbook, far much more valuable than any textbook you're going to buy for a couple of different reasons, but mainly because this one are all the key concepts made from you for your life and how you're going to end up using the language. So take good care of it and take the time to make sure that it's well thought out in the way that you're putting it together. Third suggestion is organize your vocabulary, and this is really key. So when you're learning all these new words, doesn't matter if you're in another country learning the words or if you're at home and trying to find opportunities to interact with another language, that's great too. You're going to come up with new words in either situation that you may not know. Now, when this happens, you need to have a plan for what to do with them. I can share a little bit about my plan. I used to carry around, and sometimes I still do when I'm learning a new language, but when I would go out on social situations, I would have a little tiny pocket notebook, and that was my specific travel notebook. And so in all of my new vocabulary, perhaps a new verb that I didn't know, an expression that I didn't know, I would write it all down in my handy notebook, and it was something that was discreet enough and also portable enough that it wasn't really cumbersome or hard to carry around. And so that made it very practical. But organization is key because it didn't stop there. When I get home, then those words need to go into some sort of system where I'm going to be regularly revisiting them. Now, depending on your preference, whether you like paper or something maybe a little more technologically oriented, you can find resources to do flashcards online. I'm kind of old school, so I liked my little index cards. They worked just fine for me. I made index cards from all of my vocab. And then so every night, for at least 5 to 10 minutes, I'm devoting, again, back with the organization with time, I'm devoting that time to reviewing my vocabulary. And again, key component is that organization, because after I get the words, for example, I go through a week of the same word, and every single day I seem to get that word right when I'm flipping through my flashcards. I know it. I'm ready to go. Good. I don't discard it. I put it into another separate box, and that's where all of my old words are. They get recycled in maybe every 2 weeks or every month, just so I refresh myself and I don't forget any of the vocabulary that I'm trying to learn. Right? Because as new information comes in, we focus on that. We don't tend to think of much about the old vocabulary and the old content and the old knowledge. We also want to kind of cycle that in, especially for adult learners, that consistency and making sure that you're recycling the material, the repetition, will really yield some killer results. So I wish you a lot of luck. Get organized, get excited, and get to work. It's a big, big world with lots of people to meet and lots of languages to learn.